Good evening, everyone. We should now be live. Yes, I think we are, according to OBS. I'm going to put some background music on for us. There we go. Let me know if the background music is too loud. How's my day been? It's been busy. Let's put it like that. Hello, Colt. So, the plan for today's stream is to go through all the new stuff about Jurassic World Evolution 3 that we got, which includes something from a BBC documentary, the gameplay trailer, and a bunch of new screenshots they put on their website. And then, if there's time after going through all of this, then I might do some Jurassic World Evolution 2 after. We'll go to the normal time, so this will be a 3-hour long stream as opposed to the 2. I just wanted to make sure we had enough time to go through everything. And the first thing I wanted to go through was what we got off the BBC. So, people have been asking where this came from. The BBC put on their iPlayer a bunch of technology documentaries, and in one of them they went to Frontier to talk to their sound people, but as part of it was some very short clips of the Dilophosaurus. Babby, look at him, he's so adorable. I'm not usually a big fan of the Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus, but he is so sweet. He is a cutie. I do agree with what some people have said, that they've missed the opportunity here to give us an actual adult Dilophosaurus and do what we all know is the truth and have the Jurassic Park one here as the baby. But it's still really sweet and kind of adorable, so I really, really like that. And then we got a whole, for most of the rest of this, they were doing sound stuff. Where is... right, so here he went and spoke to Amy, who we have seen before on Frontier's streams, so at least we know she's still there. Look at this Indominus. This looks like an Indominus Raptor plushie. Kind of jealous. It looks kind of cool. I do like the Triceratops as well. Very sweet. But it looks like she's been working on the Dilophosaurus animation, because we then have the social where sort of the baby is under the frill of the adults to have a look at what it is there. Jaden, we'll get to the modular building in a bit. And then, yeah, the adult gets annoyed, stands up and walks off. And then we have the baby eating from the meat feeder. Now, I suppose this does at least confirm that the meat feeder is coming back. So, meat feeder confirmed. One thing I would say about these socials is I really hope that they have more than one social animation for the baby interaction with the parents for all species, because if this is the same one they do over and over again, it's going to get kind of repetitive. And that's one of the big problems with Jurassic World Evolution 2, is that we get the same animations too often. Is that not the Moros Intrepidus rig? Potentially. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're using like the Moros Intrepidus rig as the baby rig, because it's probably the one that fits closest. Yes, King Giga, we know the shark feed is coming back as well. We saw that. Something else that was in here, and I don't know if I can find it again. Let me see if I can have a look. We've already seen the Rex and the babies. I'm sure it was back this way somewhere. This is basically they put this guy's sound effects onto the Protoceratops. Ah, here it is. So they also managed to play this cute head scratching animation that it's just the baby Protoceratops here, but I suspect a lot of them may have this animation because it's quite a basic one. But it is kind of adorable. And I suppose, I mean, in the background we have an interesting looking log here. Placeable logs, perhaps? That looks like a short stump as well. Looks like we've got a short stump and a laying down log, so... Log hype, says Branson. Will it be possible to buy the deluxe edition as an upgrade when it comes out? Probably, Corey. That's what they did for the other games. Like a month or two after they released, they gave you the deluxe edition stuff. The only stuff you will not be able to get is the pre-order, I would suspect. But that was all the baby stuff that was in the Bibsy documentary, so... Let's go through the trailer. I have to say, one thing I would say, I do really kind of like the logo. Like this new sort of metallic sheen. I think it's a really nice logo. Like Jurassic World Evolution 2's is kind of meh, I feel, because they leaned into the whole Dominion orange yellow. This looks really kind of sleek. It's a really good logo. I like it. It reminds me more of the first game's logo in coloration, because the first game's logo was kind of silvery. Right. Anyway, that was a random tangent. So, again, the aloe, baby aloe and adult aloe, we've seen this already. Now, this is new. There's a lot to get in here. So, definitely confirmation that guests are going to use the bench, well, at least this type of seating. There are guests on these seats and guests on this bench, so hopefully this confirms that guests will use scenery. Which is important to me, because like one of my biggest complaints about Jurassic World Evolution 2 was that they added all this like seating and stuff, and they just didn't use it. And like, what was the point? I also really like the look of this planter here. Looks like it might be like a square one with the palm tree in, but I like all the flowers that are in it. More planter variation. I'm definitely looking forward to. Unless those are just scenery items that generate people. That's true, Cole. It could just be scenery. We don't know actually what this is here. Given that this is some sort of dinosaur petting, it could be a structure of itself that kind of has pre-rendered guests around it. I do love how gormless this particular woman is in the background. Just standing there, like, practically in a T pose. Like, I'm not interested in the Triceratops, I'm just staring gormlessly. This baby trike is adorable. Look how detailed the literal skin is. Really nice detailing. Then we have the raptors again that we've already seen. So this is our new company that we're working for, DIN. I think they've picked a particularly bad name for it. it's it's not too far away to say dim instead, as in you're a bit stupid, dim. Calling it DIN, the Dinosaur Integration Network. They couldn't have come up with something a little different. I mean, why not just keep us working for the Dinosaur Protection Group, the DPG? At least that doesn't sound like DIN. But I do like the logo, the raptor with the globe. This is very very cool. Sounds like dinner. And we then have the baby stegosaurs. Now, someone pointed out that this woman in the bottom corner looked a lot like the vet. I did check that it wasn't the same person from Dominion and Fallen Kingdom. It isn't. That woman was called Zaya, or Zia. So it's not the same person, although the face does look very similar. But I did notice, if you look closely at her face, in fact, let's screen grab that and come here. You can see where the AI has been used, because the eyes are kind of off. This eye is not quite correct in that way that AI is. It's one thing to use AI to make your portraits, it's quite another to use obviously fucked up images. So that's that, I suppose. Anyway, so we had the baby stegos, these are delightful. And then we have these adorable mosasaurs again. And the Geostembergia again. Now this is a new shot. So obviously this is the Malta park that we've seen from some different angles. I quite like this level of like decoration we've got going on. This is obviously, this frontage is very much the old Malta Hotel. But like we've got this Spinosaurus skull here, cannon on the roof, all these lice planters, the lovely swimming pool, fountain. It looks very cool, but look at the background, like this castle. I wonder if that is just going to be an object we can place down, because if so, that's pretty cool. We've got, looks like the return of the little Malta Tower in the background as well. And we have these archwayed ball pieces again. We got the zip line. We've got a mosasaur, shark feeder, the old lagoon hatchery. Doesn't look like the hatcheries are really going to have changed in design. Oh, hello, Untamable King. Thank you for the donation. I hope we finally have the raptor paddock. Well, given that the game is fully modular, you could just build it, I suppose, now. I'm sure it won't be long before someone builds it with the modular system, to be honest. Guarantee it was cheaper to use this AI than pay for something else. True. I mean, that's... We can talk about the AI towards the end, because I think it's a very strange hill people are dying on when it comes to the AI. Like, there's a lot of criticism about it, but I'm like... I don't think it's the hill to die on when it comes to this game. One thing I did want to point out to people is this viewing gallery. So obviously, this is not any of the designs of the viewing gallery that we've had in-game before. It's missing the sail on the top, or the... not sail, what am I talking about? Roof, I suppose? But it still has the walkway down the middle, so I assume it's still going to go up and down, like the old ones do in Jurassic World Evolution 2. But it's clear we're going to be able to modify the design of all of the gallery. I cannot zoom, but what I shall do is I shall grab it. And we'll go into picture. There we go. Here's that better. Just make it slightly bigger. And what I'll do is I will make this slightly bigger on here as well. Is that better, Code? It almost looks like a mashup of the Malta truck tour and the viewing gallery. It does. But you can see that we still have like the walkway in the middle. But you can see that there's the rows of seating either side. So I think it's still probably going to go up and down. Because these like little concrete extensions sticking out, they usually go around the window that's underneath. Looks like there's no difference between the shark feeder or the mosa. This is definitely a mosasaur here. I have noticed they're not really in these screenshots. It seems like the lagoons are being kept secret. There's not a lot of lagoon stuff at the moment. It is J-Pog music, yes. Anyway, back to here. I wonder how long it took to build some of that stuff with modular building. See, this is a question we'll come to when we get to that bit. This is just the same shot that we had before. And the lovely Japan Park that I swear I thought was Evo's. The trike shot we had. Right, so this is a new shot. So this is the new UI. Very similar to the old Jurassic World Evolution 2 UI. But I do like now how everything is kind of semi-separated. So these are your management views and such. These are your buildings. These are your environments, path, plaza, etc. And these are your sort of added features. The hatchery design again definitely doesn't look like it's changed. This is the Jurassic World style hatchery. I love the return of the orange trees as well as the cherry blossoms. Plenty of rocks. I do want to draw people's attention to this thing here. This looks awfully like the ranger post. Yes, so we already know that the campaign is non-linear, so you're going to be able, King Giga, to switch island to island, or location to location, so I would assume that is what that little globe one is. But yeah, that is a ranger outpost, so it looks like we're probably still going to have ranger posts and rangers going to the enclosures. So people who were like, oh my god, they've got rid of the ACU and rangers, I think that's probably confirmation the rangers are here. Why is the Cobra engine thing at the bottom? That's a good question. I mean, it's literally just the powered by Cobra thing. It might just be something they're doing for trademarking or something. I don't know. But yeah, lots of logs in here and trikes. I don't see anything new apart from the fact that the... Well, actually, maybe I do. That looks different. Hang on a minute. Let's get a better shot of that. Oh, there you go. You can see my... You just see... That's one of my screenshots I took back in the days of Jurassic World Evolution 1, but I posterized it to make everything like bright red. Anyway. So, this monorail station looks different. Because the current monorail station has, like, wood. There doesn't look like a lot of wood here. This looks like it's mostly glass. It does look ever so subtly different. If we've got different monorail designs for different locations, that's a big plus for me. Because I hate only having one monorail design. We'll keep an eye out as we go through the video, see if we can spot any other monorails. Maybe modular pieces. That's true, maybe it is just modular pieces. Defaloo looks more square. So looks like we're gonna have the standard sort of hatchery thing. You know, the standard stuff. Looks like the power plant buildings haven't changed, because that's the Jurassic World medium power plant there in the top. So it looks like some things haven't changed. This is obviously the hatchery view, so we've kind of seen this, we saw this already. There's your male and female. And then we have... Now, when I saw this with them all walking together like this, I did think, oh my god, they've brought back the demon summoning circles from Jurassic World Evolution 1. They're all standing in a circle. The cult circle. I do really like the lily pads in the water. I wonder if that's going to be a placeable thing, as well as these the lovely reeds that currently are only a mod for Jurassic World Evolution 2. It would be nice to be able to put these down wherever we like. The lily pads do look good, the goated goat. Then we have like the putting down of the nest, which we saw yesterday. So, I don't believe we saw this. So, this is like the nest UI. So it tells you how many eggs are in here, when they'll leave the nest, whether it's claimed or not claimed, what's in there, and the nest type. I'm assuming the bigger the dinosaur, the bigger the nest it's going to need. Well, actually, no, that wouldn't make sense, would it? Maybe the bigger the nest, the more babies you get from it. That male trike wants to be Andrew Tate. Or let's not mention him around here. We don't like him around here. I like the fact that this has like an entertainment reputation. So, like, guests are gonna like seeing nests. And yeah, the paint can icon is interesting, so I wonder if we can, like, change what it looks like. But it's good that we can discard the eggs. So I suppose this is another element of, like, if you don't want to destroy the nest but control population, you can just destroy the eggs in the nest and stop them from maturing. So it's, you know, this was one of the reasons why I didn't necessarily want babies in the next Evolution game, because I was concerned of, like, if you've played Zoo Tycoon 2, you will know exactly what I mean when I say fennec foxes. In Zoo Tycoon 2, you started with like 4 fennec foxes, and very quickly you'd end up with 25 of the buggers, because they would just breed so fast and so numerously. And this was my concern for Jurassic World Evolution 3 having babies. I'm like, I don't want my enclosures to be overloaded, but giving us controls to keep population down, that's a good thing. And then we have the baby trikes again, that we've already seen, and the baby trikes having their own fighting animation. I mean, this is, you know, the same animation as the adults have, but it's good that the babies will probably have multiple types of animation. And they have their own comfort, health, food, water, security rating system. Looks the same. There's a lot more up here, though, isn't there? I mean, I assume that one at the end that looks like a family tree is telling you who the mother and father is. And I'm assuming this one has something to do with the nests, and this one is something to do with diseases, because that looks like a germ. This one must be genetic modification. Oh yes, well spotted there, Dino Drip, the 3 factions. So I'm just going to go based off the colours. The orange guys are our "we want dinosaurs to be contained, we hate them" faction. I'm going to assume that the green is the "dinosaurs deserve to be protected" faction. And the blue, by the looking of the logo, is the "dinosaurs should be commodities" faction. Would make quite a lot of sense. I'm wondering if the green is going to be the DPG, given that it's using that Brachiosaurus. I really hope we don't have Dua, Isaac, or Lambert back. I would not be sad not to see them come back. I hated them. I hated Lambert. But I think out of all of them, I really hated Isaac. Especially after the Isla Pen mission. I wanted to push him in the T-Rex pen. How do you feel about the return of Cabot Finch? If we must, I suppose. I wonder if he's got another wife. Isaac Clement, when I reject one of his contracts, so he releases my Indominus Rex, causing mass death and destruction, expecting me to do business with him again. Yeah, I mean, like, this is my park. I am the manager, and you let out the dinosaurs? Why have I not fired you people? Then we have the Carno bashing on the fence. And then we have the camera pan here. Is there anything we can see here that's... Not really. I mean, I suppose this confirms it's the same power pylon that we've had. This building looks interesting. I wonder what this is with these lovely buttresses. Also, I do want to point out, so these orange and red trees, these are not all the same types that we currently have now. This shorter, bushier one we don't have right now, and this one is a different one. And we've got, like, there's a very small one, big bushy one. There are some new types of tree, so good for those of us who like to decorate. It's been discovered they're bringing back the dinosaur black market from the Malta DLC. It's now its own building called Marketplace. Well, I suppose you would have to have that. I would guess selling babies is probably going to be a good way of making money in this game, which sounds really scummy. Right, so this is the big thing, and this is where we have to mention the dreaded modular building. So this is clearly a building that is in the processes of being constructed. These are clearly, you know, wall pieces, window pieces, everything. It's not got a roof, swimming pool pieces, etc. And then we see the process of, well, we don't see the process, we just see the roofs being added in this time-lapse style. Now, and then we get to here where we watch them place a raptor on here. We have the 3 arrows, which is very similar to Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, Prehistoric Kingdom. Look at all of these down the side. I mean, look at all of this. So this does rather unfortunately confirm that this is like 100% modular, which I was really hoping it wouldn't be. Now, we haven't seen the modular aspect of the building in gameplay, so we don't know how easy the modular system is going to be to use. Some people have said it's going to be like basically Lego, where you just snap stuff together, which would be nice. There is a video of it. I haven't seen that. King Giga. But yes, as Berenson says, this is what's keeping him from buying the game. I think the modular building aspect is going to be the most divisive part of this game. Now, I have heard the defense from people of, well, you know, they're having a workshop. People can just download the buildings from it. Okay, that's fine. But Prehistoric Kingdom has a workshop. Planet Zoo has a workshop. Planet Coaster has a workshop. And people still struggle. You know, there is more to building with buildings than just having the building. And I think for a lot of people, they don't even really want to use the workshop items. You know, people want to be able to build stuff themselves. You know, I suspect this... Yeah, it's like what Monster says. I don't mind modular building, I just don't think I have the talent for it, and that's kind of where I am as well. I love modular building, and I can come up with all sorts of ideas in my head. Building them is another matter, because building a building that you have an idea for in your head is a totally different kettle of fish. See, Alex, I kind of disagree with you. I think one of the massive advantages that Evolution had was the simplicity of building with it. And I don't think they needed to go modular building to make Jurassic World Evolution 3 stand out. They could have just applied the amenity customization system to more buildings and expanded upon that system. I don't think we needed something like this, because this is going to turn people off. This is going to turn people away from the game. Like, yes, this shows that we're going to have pre-builds, and the pre-builds are very nice. We're going to have 5 different eras of... Oh, well, I say eras, styles. By my estimation, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, Japan, Malta, and one other, perhaps more facility-esque style. The workshop for most of the Planet games are okay, but not reliable. Look for something like a restaurant and you find nothing like it. Yeah, Jaden, that's the other thing. Like, we're going to have to log into Frontier's own proprietary workshop, because they won't use Steam, because this game is on consoles. And a workshop is only as good as, like, the people who upload stuff to it. We already know the problems of workshop items. If people are missing certain DLC, they won't be able to use the workshop item. If people... And that's only going to get worse the more DLCs come out for the game. You know, you're going to have the hardcore builders, let's be fair, they're going to have brought the DLC when it comes out. And they'll build stuff with that DLC when it comes out. People who are not hardcore builders might not have the DLC straight away, might not have the DLC for a while. So, even with the workshop, there's going to be problems. I mean, Matthias, I would argue that I still haven't seen some of the things I've wanted to see yet, and I didn't want modular building. What about when mods end up coming, workshop will be redundant? Well, that's we don't know what's going to happen to modding with this yet. I just think the modular building, I just think is a terrible idea, and I think they've shot themselves in the foot because they've removed one of the biggest advantages they had over Prehistoric Kingdom and Planet Zoo, and now they've made it just like them, and I'm like, I can see the player base not being particularly large. It's going to handicap the game, I agree. Then we have the same... Oh, we do have we have a demonstration of this ramp terrain tool, which will be very helpful to be making ramps. I would say that whoever's designed this ramp, he's made one ramp and then cut the ramp off. But it's a nice demonstration of how the ramp tool is going to work. Same aviary as the Jurassic Park aviary. So we know that's coming back. Also, I've just noticed in the bottom corner, there's some like biosyn bronze modern art sculpture planter things here. That's the shot we saw the waterfall. Yeah, look, I didn't notice. Are they the bronze? No, they're not, are they? They are different. From a distance, they look like the biosyn, like bronze things, but they're not. They are different. I mean, doesn't this look amazing? Like Spino statue, Gallimimus statue, Brachy statue. It is pretty cool. What about we won't change Jurassic World Evolution 3 as much as we did for Planet Coaster 2? Yeah, that's an interesting point, Jaden. This seems like a massive change. Do you think... You know, I suspect that was probably just for investors, so they didn't get scared. But like people are... I suspect this game is going to sell well, but not have a big player base. I suspect after month 1, the player base is going to drop quite fast. Because even with pre-builds, Prehistoric Kingdom has pre-built structures, Planet Zoo has pre-built structures, but they still have small player bases because the game's just complicated. I think at the moment, it seems the hype at the moment is like babies. Like, everyone is hyped for the babies. That's about it. But at least with modular building, this will allow the game to live for a much longer time than previous 2 games. Again, I don't agree, Alex. Because the limiting factor on the other 2 games was the fact that they focused too heavily on dinosaur packs and not decorations, on buildings, on maps. They had limited management gameplay. I think mods demonstrated that if you give people more bits, the game is still capable of living. What was your point about the pre-builds? Since we got 6 pre-builds for every building in the game, I can see how one can just build like JWE2, JWE1 and ignore modular building as a whole. Well, Dino Drip, my point was Planet Zoo and Prehistoric Kingdom also have pre-builds. They also have a range of pre-built structures. People still struggle to play them and they still have low player bases because they're still complicated. Having a building is not... It's everything else around it. You know, I just think modular building is inherently complicated. Most of the player base will probably go to JWE2 again. Possibly. I'm so hyped for babies, I feel like the rock formations. Oh, I just got that fast there. That seems like a you problem, I'll be honest. Well, you know, whatever. But I think a lot of people... We'll see what happens on release day, won't we, Groated Goat? And see how well the game's player base holds up. But I suspect the modular building will be a bad thing. I mean, that's a good point, Colt. Maybe it is the franchise name. Again, we'll wait and see when the game comes out what happens. If the modular building system is like relatively easy to use, then that's fantastic. Like, I think there are definitely better ways of implementing modular building than Planet Zoo did, because the system in Planet Zoo is a nightmare. And half the time it doesn't work properly. So, we'll see how it's implemented. Once we see it, like, them actually building it live, we'll know a lot more, won't we? I just don't think, like, oh, well, people can download stuff off the workshop. They can do that with the other games. I still don't think that's a decent defense, but again, we'll see what happens. Is there anything actually new here? This is all the same. That's made me laugh here. Some people have been saying that these guys down in the lake are Plateosaurus. They're very clearly baby brackies, or semi-adult brackies. Same as this guy down here. It's a semi-adult brachy. It's not a Plateosaurus, is it? Yeah, this is the same shot. This was the Barry shot. This is the ATV shot. They did reuse a lot of the trailer. We do get this. This is the security camera view. Here's a nice view of the some of the new planters, fountains, Mosasaur statue. This is nice. I like this. Looks like the wood light is coming back. This is our new Din helicopter. I'm going to assume this is like the Jurassic Park building set now. Because it looks like that way to me. I love this this roof with the glass windows on top. Hello, Star-Lord Unofficial. Can you imagine how stressful it would be to navigate the menu for modular building during challenge mode or campaign? I mean, you'd probably pause the game, wouldn't you? Maybe it's the Hawaiian... Well, yeah, they'll probably call it the Hawaiian theme, won't they? But it's the Jurassic Park theme to the rest of us. I was just having a look to see if we can spot anything. That lagoon, they're giving nothing away with that lagoon in the top corner still. And it doesn't look like there's any dinosaur in that enclosure in the top right. None that I can see anyway. No. Thank God, thank goodness for the pause button. Isn't that the Planet Zoo thatch? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the modular stuff is coming from Planet Zoo. It makes sense to use it. The Paras, the Galley, the Brachy. Right, so this is an interesting screen for me because this gives some hint as to how many campaign maps we're going to have and where we're going to be able to build. So this is obviously Japan. This down here in the bottom left is Papua New Guinea. Then we've got China. Then we've got Malta. This, in the middle, this is the Dolomite Mountains, where Biosyn Valley was supposed to be. This is like the top of Italy, basically. So I'm wondering if they're going to bring Dinosaur Valley back, or Biosyn Valley back, for this game. This is the Azores, off of Portugal. And then obviously we know, before we get hacked, we know that there's the Badlands, and this one down, which I thought might have been Vegas, is actually not really in the right location to be Vegas. This is more like sort of New Mexico or Texas or Nevada, possibly. It could be an area of Nevada, but it could be somewhere around that, Texas, possibly. And then we know there's going to obviously be Hawaii or like further over. So, you know, confirmation on some of the new maps at least. And then we get hacked by this group. I'm just having a look at some of these skulls. Obviously we've got Brachy here. We got Para. We got Rex. This... What? This looks like a pterosaur skull. Could that be Quetz or Thanatos Dracon? But what I'm looking at is this guy in the bottom corner. Now, I could be seeing things, but that does look suspiciously like a Oh, someone just said it's Ankylosaurus. I was about to say it looks a bit like a terror bird, but yeah, it's probably an Ankylosaurus now that you mention it. It did look like a terror bird for a split moment. Ah, Darwinopterus. You could, yeah, that could be the skull. That's a good idea actually. And then we have, you know, them hacking the site because obviously they don't like whatever's going on here. There is definitely no dinosaur in this enclosure, is there? I can't even see one like just before it cuts out. There's definitely nothing in here. And then we have, you know, stuff going wild. I do wonder, so, you know, there's obviously debris put about. I wonder if this has been done deliberately for the shot, or whether like some of these objects are going to be like free moving, so when dinosaurs are running around they're going to, you know, bash stuff around. It could just be for the shot. The only reason I'm not sure about it is because this looks like the standard seating decoration, and yet this chair is kind of skew-if. So I do wonder. This raptor skin. Green with white stripes. Wasn't there a raptor... One of the raptor packs? Was it Charlie or Delta? Was like green with stripes? Someone with better Jurassic World knowledge will know. Charlie was green with black stripes, wasn't it? They do both look similar, Berenson. But that, I mean, that skin does maybe resemble it. In Planet Zoo, animals can knock trash cans over and stuff. There's reason to believe the dinosaurs in this game can. Ah, thank you, Simba. My Planet Zoo knowledge is not strong. I hope the Velociraptor has better skins. Kairu. The Velociraptor skins in Jurassic World Evolution 2 were a lot better than they were in Jurassic World Evolution 1, and I'm sure Evo will agree with me that the Velociraptor skins in Jurassic World Evolution 1 were awful. They were only saved when we got the Return to Jurassic Park skins. I didn't use Velociraptor in my park until that DLC dropped. The base game Raptor skins were bloody awful. And then we have the same, like, T-Rex smack the thing off. The same shot we had. And then the big one, which is making everyone happy. Swimming Spino. Swimming Jurassic Park 3 Spino. It's, you know, a confirmation that at least the Spinosaurus will be able to swim. We don't know yet if every dinosaur will be able to swim. At least this confirms Spinosaurus will swim. Probably means Baryonyx Suchomimus will swim. And there is hope for, as Gonzalito has said, could we be excited in lowercase Gonzalito? Just full caps is just a bit excessive. But yes, it does give hope for Paleozoic amphibians and crocodilomorphs. So who knows? I wouldn't say it confirms them, but it's definitely there as an option. Now then, we do have, and again I have to thank Evo for this because she alerted me to someone saying, oh, we've got new screen caps. And like, I can't find them. And then I went on the Jurassic World Evolution 3 website and they have indeed put down a bunch of new screenshots. So, right, let's start with where I definitely know that. So this one, yes. Oh, can we replace background? There we go. So, just another screen cap of the Triceratops, a male with a female. So we can see them in game. Yeah, I admit I am kind of disappointed by the Triceratops again not having much of a frill pattern going on. It is what it is, I suppose. They're going to probably use the same skin generating system as Jurassic World Evolution 2, so... I note that the alpine trees look much lush in the desert biome. Chunky boy trike. He is chunky, isn't he? I like that the patterning is more striking than the female. Yeah, I mean, we don't know whether this is like the same skin combination on a male and a female. They could be completely different skins. But yeah, not much new in that one. Then they had another of the Rex. Now, any guesses on which one is the male and which one is the female? Because, I mean, I suppose the green one is probably the male here. But who knows? They look pretty similar, I think, male-female wise. There's nothing obviously noticeable. It is obvious that the green one is the male, clearly. Yes, I'm aware that that footage exists, but that is special footage that I think the early access folks got. And I'm not going to, like, steal the footage from Gaming Beaver's video on it, or Evo's video on it. For me to do it. I'll just, you know, that's their footage, so we'll stick... Yeah, I'm sticking with what everybody can access. That's how gender works in the Jurassic franchise. It is a cute baby. Although I still think the trike baby is the cutest. Like, people are saying that, like, the T-Rex baby is the cutest. Nah, the trike baby is way cuter. Then we have another shot of the Malta Park. This, you know, with more of this cage for transportation. the only reason I saved this one is because we have the Jurassic World Arrival Center building show up here again. So it confirms that guests are probably going to arrive in much the same way as Jurassic World Evolution 2. I can't wait to see the baby Meg. That would be kind of cute, I think. But a baby Meg would end up being just like a great white shark, wouldn't it? It'd be about as big as a great white. But yeah, I think that was the only like reason I saved the screenshot, was like, oh, that's the Arrival building. And obviously Brackies again. Then we have this lovely mosasaur. 2 adults, 1 baby, possibly another baby. But what I wanted to do with this, I wanted to see if we can do a little bit of photo changing. So what I want to do is make it brighter. And then increase the contrast. Sharpen. Now, am I blind, or is that in the background the viewing dome again? That looks to me like the Lagoon viewing dome. Where's my pencil? Because we've got like, there's a leg there, there's a leg there. We've got like a curve there, and it goes up there, curves there. And we've got like that bit in the middle, and then it looks like there's another bit of a leg here, which I would assume would be like that. So that looks like the Lagoon viewing gallery to me. I think you can see underwater tunnel clearly in one of the pics. Not this pic, it was in Beaver's stream, but he missed it. I think this is the only underwater picture we have. Yeah, it's the only underwater picture we have, and I don't think there's one in, like, the mosasaur. I mean, oh, well, there we go. The mosasaur pic clearly shows the viewing dome as well. So this is the skin you get for the deluxe edition, but there's the viewing dome. Oh, I see what you mean, actually. Hang on. Hang on. So it looks like there's obviously the dome, but it looks like there is something here. Because you've got like a large sort of... That... Maybe you're right. Hang on. Can we make that any brighter? Can we change this? Can we... Okay, let's... Yeah, no, brightening it doesn't help. Sometimes I find if you switch things to like other filters, it can help bring things up. Yeah, no, it is. It looks like there's a hint of something there. There's definitely, I agree, like a hint of something connecting that viewing dome. But it's difficult to know for sure. Definitely difficult to know for sure. The Moses skin is pretty cool though, I agree, Kairu. I like the Moses skin. But yes, going back to this one. Oh, let's, can we reset this? There we go. Very cute. Boring mosasaur skin. I hate the mosasaur skins. That's why I don't really use them very often. Building a 4 biome park right now. What species do you guys think suit the desert biome? So that one demo dog, I like to put species that you wouldn't expect in a biome to be in a biome. Because a lot of people, when they say desert, they go for something like Oviraptor or Velociraptor or something like that. Put a sauropod in there. Do like a desert enclosure, but put like a brachy in there, or an Amargasaurus in there, or like put a species you wouldn't normally associate with one type of biome into it, because I think that's interesting. If you go to Beaver's video, it's finally happening, Jurassic World Evolution 3 reaction. If you pause at the start around 6 seconds, you can see a tunnel underwater in the background. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can grab that. Because if I can screen cap it... Quiet.
Create a...
Oh god, I hate adverts being on YouTube videos. Okay, going to around 6 seconds. That's the mosasaur picture that we've already seen. I don't think that is a tunnel. So... yeah, you're talking about the Mosasaurus picture that we've already had. I don't see a tunnel there. I think we've already... had that image, haven't we? Or we've seen that bit. I don't see a tunnel in there. What I see is like the base of a concrete, like a concrete base that we get for like the planters and stuff. I don't see a tunnel. Beaver laugh, lol. This is cold. I don't watch... I must be like the only dinosaur person who doesn't watch Gaming Beaver. Utahraptor might not be in JW3. They would be stupid not to have it in JW3. Next week, probably on Friday, assuming we don't have anything new come out, I do want to do a stream like where we go through the roster and try and figure out which is likely to be cut and which is not. See if we can figure things out. What are your hopes for the aquatic animals? Well, for them to be better, like have multiple more social animations, more behavioral animations, expand the lagoon decorations and lagoon attractions, just, you know, spend some time making them better. Honestly, in terms of animals, I wouldn't want Dunkleosteus to get cut. I love the dunk. I have a question. Because of modular building, does that mean no terrain constraints, building constraints, and hitboxes? I mean, I would assume so, Smaug. To make modular building work, they have to remove those constraints. That's my assumption. 40, 50 cut animals is going to be crazy. It is going to be pretty severe, yeah. Right, then we had this lovely picture of the Stegosaurus. Just showing that the... So we've obviously got the need system is still a thing. This is interesting though. So, social needs. Juvenile population of 2. So, it looks like adult dinosaurs... Oh no, hang on, this is... Oh, so this is of the juveniles. So juveniles have a juvenile population they require. So It's kind of like you have to have a minimum number of babies. Then they have a minimum area, cover, which I assume is forest, ground fruits, ground fiber. So I'm assuming that the paleobotany system is going to work in the same way. With the brushes, with ground fruit, ground fiber, ground nut. It's nut, fiber, and fruit right now, isn't it? I have to say, this is going to upset Evo. I just don't like Jurassic World's Evolution Stego. I've never liked the design. To be honest, I don't really like Jurassic Park's Stego either. I think they're really... I might be biased, but I don't think anyone has made a better Stego than Walking with Dinosaurs. Like, I feel like a lot of the Stego designs I see in Jurassic World Evolution, they don't really make use of the plates very well. I feel like Walking with Dinosaurs made much better use of the plates. I also wish the tail was a bit, you know, more realistically higher up than dragging, but it's Jurassic Park, you know. F you, man, I like the JP and Jurassic World Stegosaurus. Each to their own, Nicholas. I would be okay if they cut all the tiny dinosaurs. Well, I think cutting the tiny dinosaurs would be a good idea, because that's 12 right off the bat. And they wouldn't breed, would they? So, because would you go through the rigmarole of having a baby compy model? That just seems a bit pointless. So, cutting the tiny animals, possibly to reintroduce them as in some sort of like change the music. I don't particularly like some of the Jurassic World Evolution 1 music. If they were going to reintroduce the small dinosaurs or animals later on in like their own like mini enclosure thing, that I would support. The murderer. We know like sauropodlet killers. Colt clearly has some childhood trauma from the Stego from the Stego in Walking with Dinosaurs. The people that will lose their shit if they cut Micro and Seiji after years of bitching. No one uses them. In every stream Evo has done since their introduction, I haven't seen anyone beg to have Microceratus or Segisaurus in the parks. Like, the only reason people complain about them is, oh, well, they're canon species because they show up in the film. The Seiji didn't even show up in the film, it showed up on one prop. And I'm like... So what? I'm one of these people who don't think every single film species has to be in the game. Especially Dominion, where they jammed so many in. Reintroduce the mini dinos as exhibit animals. Exactly, goated go. I mean, because I think the smaller animals, like Yehalopterus, Compies, Oviraptor, they're just kind of small for all the massive stuff that we have. Making them exhibit animals, and I mean, if this is fully modular now... Oh yeah, if Megalosaurus gets cut, I will be really upset, Evo, and I will blame you entirely. I love the Megalosaurus in JWE2. I do suspect that Maiasaura is definitely not going to get cut, because if any dinosaur makes sense to have in Jurassic World Evolution 3, now that we have babies, it's Maiasaura. So that will still be in the game. As much as I hate the Maiasaura. Would Frontier really care about that, though? I think, given that Myosaura is literally famous in the paleontological community for the baby thing, I think they would probably be aware of that, and I think that's probably why it will still be in the game. I don't think they'll cut Polycanthus. Just... I suspect that the British dinosaur species will stay. Just because they are a British company. It would be strange for a company from a specific country not to care about their own paleontology. But I suspect Nodo or Sauropelta might disappear. Maybe Gigantspino and Chunking as well. They should cut Majunga, it's hideous. Aww. Am I abnormal for not hating the Maya? I think it's definitely a rarity with one demo dog. We don't need Archaeornithomimus. I agree with you there, Simbo. If we lose Chunking, I'll be sad, but I understand. Huangosaurus is so much better. I swear, if Huangosaurus... I was ticked off that they put Huangosaurus in the deluxe edition last time. If they cut it from this game, I will... There will be stern words. There will be a stern letter. I mean, I only live down the road from Frontier. Because Frontier are up in Cambridge. It's like literally half an hour from me. I will protest outside their office with a placard to get Huangosaurus back. I want my Huango back. Triclaw protest. I mean, I have been very tempted just to go up there and, like, say I'm a YouTuber, blah blah blah, and just see what happens. just randomly. They probably would like tell me to fuck off, but you never know, you know. Anyway, let's next picture. The glorious swimming Spino again. We don't really have much in the background apart from some very nice redwood looking trees and some bare log trees. Now, I was looking at this. Don't pull the YouTuber card. Am I the only one that thinks the sail is a slightly different shape to normal? Or am I just making that up? I feel like the sail looks like taller and not as wide. Or the sexual dimorphism, perhaps? Oh no, Rebirth sail is like a rectangle. But this one does seem to be... it is a different shape, right? I'm not going nuts. It's subtly different. Do you think they're going to cut Camaro? I mean, what sauropods do we... Brachiosaurus is obviously safe, we know that. We've seen it. Dreadnoughtus, Alamosaurus... Amargasaurus, Nigersaurus might go. Memenchi is probably safe because of the film. Maybe Kamara might go. Kamara might go. Out of all of them, it's probably... Yeah, but Kamaro... I would really be gutted if we got rid of Camarasaurus because it's a smaller sauropod. Like, we've got, like, a really small one in Amaga, and we've got, like, Brachy. We need one in the middle, and that's that Camarasaurus fits. Dippy is more unique and has a hybrid. The hybrids is an interesting question. Depends if all of the hybrids are there day one. I'm not convinced they will be. I never cared for the Alamosaurus. Its face looks like one of those stuffed toys with human teeth. I don't know what you're referring to, Demo Dog, but that sounds terrifying. Out of 82 species, 7 being hybrids would be bad, in my opinion. Yeah. And I know what people are saying at the moment. Well, we have been told 75 won't breed, so, and we have 7 hybrids. Incidentally, if the mutants from Rebirth were in the game, and they also are not fertile, that would be 9 non-breeding animals if the hybrids were also infertile. This is why I suspect that the mutants may not necessarily be in the game on launch. Yeah, as Evo has just said, it could be possible that some of the non-breeders are tiny animals and some are the hybrids. But how would people... People reacted very badly to cutting the hybrids and then adding them again 2 years later with a price tag. Would Frontier be that stupid to do the same thing again? To cut them and then potentially re-add them for a 3rd time behind a paywall DLC? They're literally doing that with the deluxe DLC. Yeah, I suppose they are a bit. I suppose Frontier really are that stupid. That being said, if they were to bring them back in a cut DLC and they could breed, I would be a little more okay with that. Am I the only one that thinks like a baby Stegoceratops would look absolutely adorable? Or a baby Ankylodocus? Kill him with fire! Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Wow. Kill it with fire. We had baby Spinoceratops in Camp Cretaceous. Did we? I like to ignore that Camp Cretaceous exists. Right, and then we got two pictures of the modular buildings. So this shows the grid system. So all building in Prehistoric Kingdom and Planet Zoo is on this grid system. So you determine your sort of grid heights, your grid size, the collision being on or off. This is interesting. So it means usually, well, for stuff like Planet Coaster, it meant that guests would either phase through it or not. But I wonder, will that apply to the dinosaurs as well? And is this how we're going to be like able to have low fencing? Like we design the fence ourselves and then have the collision on or off? Because if that applies to the dinosaur, then theoretically we can use everything as a fence. In theory. dinosaurs phasing through the walls. I mean, they phase through the walls now. At least this time we can choose whether they do it or not. I want my big silly duck, says Pedro. Yeah, Dinocaris. I have been hearing people say they wouldn't be, or at least people on my Discord have said that they wouldn't be sad to see Dinocaris go, which surprises me. Will caves be added? That's a good question, because none of those tools that we've seen used suggest like cave building. We've seen that like arch, but nothing that would be like a cave. But again, I would suspect if the terrain system is the same as Planet Zoo's, which it looks like it is, then I don't see why you couldn't make a cave. What? Says Evolution Square. Yeah, like Dinocaris appears to be one that people would be happy to have rid of. With this whole focus on verticality, I hope we can make walkable or drivable bridges. Yes, so one of my big things for whether I would buy Jurassic World Evolution 3 or not is we have bridges and tunnels. Now, if the game is fully modular, I suppose we could build a bridge, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we can connect that bridge to path. Like, we could build a bridge, whether guests use the bridge and can cross said bridge, and whether path applies to said bridge, we don't know. Because if you look at this building, there's very clearly like the path going and snapping straight to it, like we already have in Jurassic World Evolution 2. So if we are going to build our own bridges, the path is going to have to interact with it to make it work. And we're going to have to wait and see if that happens. Also, I love how here we've got like an awkward looking path connection. So it looks like the path tool system is still going to be buggered to hell. I am a bit disappointed we've got like the bland orange square and bland brown path again. I hope we have some really new path types to show off. But this building looks very nice. I like all... Like, I wonder to what extent this is modular. Like, is this, like, wooden frontage one piece? Or is this, like, multiple pieces? I really do want to see this modular system working. New flag design, like that. And then the other one was this one. So this, looking at what they've highlighted here, so they're highlighting these specific pillars, which they're then making blue, I would assume. The same sort of color change system as we had in the base game. Someone posted a clue on Reddit that Dunk might be in the base game. Oh. I shall have to go. I've been avoiding Reddit at the moment. It's a bit of a cesspool of like people being angry over AI use and stuff. I think the modular system means that we will not get a new Jurassic World Evolution for a long time because they can build on this one, add structures, story DLCs, dinos, even new dinosaurs for existing animations for existing dinos. Also, this picture confirms both innovation centers will be in the game. Yeah, there's the old innovation center we know and love. Winston Steakhouse was in Jurassic World movie named after visual effects artist Stan Winston. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that like this is probably like a modular decoration bit. Though you've got a sign here, so maybe the food amenities, because this looks like a food amenity building. So I wonder if all the food amenity buildings are going to be like labeled Winston, or we have like switchable signs like we have right now with the amenities. I do like that the surrounding area is a bit more like... This feels more like a restaurant area surrounding, with like the wooden decking and stuff outside of it. I don't really have anything else in this picture though. The solar panels are so... Oh, right. I think it makes sense. If you're on a tropical island, you'd have solar panels somewhere. You wouldn't want to waste that electricity. I don't mind the AI use. Companies are going to use it, expert and save money and resources. Yeah. No, I said it to somebody earlier on today when they posted on the short of the Dilo, the baby Dilo. They complained about the AI use and said they weren't going to buy the game because of the AI use, and I'm like... I said, the AI revolution has happened. Companies are already using it. They've probably been using it for a while. It's just they legally have to tell us now. They've probably already been doing it for some time. So, what are you going to do? Like, is it scummy to use AI? Kind of. But, if by using AI to make these scientist pictures, that, let's be fair, no one is going to really spend that much time caring about the scientists, are they? If by using AI they've saved a bit of time that they can devote into like somewhere else that's a bit more important, then I'm okay with it. If they were using AI to create dinosaurs, I could understand it. But if it's just for a picture of a scientist that you're not going to really notice anyway, it is what it is. I mean, maybe stock images would have been funnier. But that would have cost money. But, going back to, oh, where was it? Let me just scroll up. Somebody said something about, Pedro said that maybe the game will live for a longer time because of the modular building. I think that's potentially a good bet. I mean, Planet Zoo is still getting new DLC, isn't it? So, and that game has been out for a long time now. So, potentially it does mean that Jurassic World Evolution 3's lifespan will be longer. Of course, there is a side effect to that. If a game lasts for longer, you end up with more DLC. And at least for me, there comes a time where I feel like a game has too much DLC. Like Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, I feel are kind of... Planet Coaster definitely, but Planet Zoo is getting close to that period where I feel like it's too much DLC. Since that was all of like the screen caps and stuff. So I don't think I have anything else new to show. So I am going to look, sleeping Acrocanthosaurus. Jurassic World Evolution 1 again. One of my much beloved shots of Acrocanthosaurus. Right, let me get Jurassic World Evolution 2 started up. And we can do some building and continue talking. Yes. Let me just silence said music and swap to here. Sorry, it will be black until the game loads. I do apologize. If the DLCs actually bring new attractions and unique animals from the Paleozoic and early Mesozoic, I can see it being more long-running, but if not, and they spam 10 late Cretaceous theropods. Yeah, like, I'll be honest, I was really surprised that Cenozoics weren't a thing, or at least don't seem to be a thing. I was convinced. Go away, Universal. Oh, why is it not coming up? OBS, can you load this up, please? Why is it not loading it up? Oh, it's because I didn't start OBS in administration mode. Oh, damn. Hang on. Hang on. 1 second. Let me make this bigger. Fit to screen. There we go. And I shall just silence that. There we go. Sorry, yes. My OBS has a weird thing where it only lets me like stream the game itself if I start OBS in admin mode, and I forgot to do that. So I'll have to... I'm technically showing you my screen, not the game. Have fun, Colt. Yeah, like, I was really surprised the Cenozoics haven't been shown yet, or if they will, because thinking about like those two really noticeable features, I remember when I did a video on it some months ago, like when I was thinking about what features might be shown off in the trailers, and people were saying to me like, oh, Cenozoics and babies are really obvious to show off, so they'll be the two features that like they talk about. And instead we got babies, but also quite a lot of images of management stuff. So yeah, I'm just a bit surprised, really. And given Smilodon's inclusion in Camp Cretaceous, I would have thought that it was a possibility at least. So yeah, I am a very bit surprised. Right. I need to think about how I want to design this area. You know, I don't think this actually needs, well, maybe a few rocks. when you think about it, Cenozoics really isn't that big of a feature since they're basically just new land and marine animals. Yeah, potentially. I mean, I'm not a massive Cenozoic fan. Like, I'm personally not that invested in Cenozoics. If we were to get something like a mammoth and a Smilodon, fine, but like I couldn't really care that much if we didn't. I personally find dinosaurs and a lot of Paleozoic animals a lot more interesting, but that's just personal bias at the end of the day. More rocks. No. No, because I'm gonna put quite a lot of trees down here, so we don't need too many rocks. I'd like them to focus on adding more non-dinosaur animals to avoid it getting repetitive. Yeah, like I say, I think more Paleozoic animals. I would be more happy with more Paleozoic animals than I would be for, say, mammals. But again, if mammals came, you know, that's fine. A giant sloth and a Paraceratherium would be nice, or add the direwolves. Add the direwolves so it goes with the Jurassic theme. Oh, we made direwolves. No, we haven't. They certainly stepped backwards quickly on it, didn't they? We've made direwolves. A week later, we didn't actually. That's a level of U-turn that some of our former prime ministers would be happy about. Have maybe just a couple of different tree varieties in here, since the chances are we'll probably have some fairly big sauropods in here somewhere, I should think. Gorgonopsids would definitely be cool. I mean, I think Gorgonopsids would be like just really cool to have, because you have some very cool animations with that. And then once you have that sort of four-legged quadrupedal motion as a rig, you can then apply that to so many other animals. What in the Liz Truss lettuce? Exactly, Niall. Inostransevia, which is the Gorgonopsid that Evo struggled to pronounce the other day, actually. Inostransevia. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I think it would be really cool to have. Also, I think it's really cruel. I'm getting called out. No, I was just going to say it's really cruel that like that people know that Evo is Dutch, but gives her these like these English words that are sometimes really difficult to pronounce. Like, I understand that for like someone from a different country, like a lot of English words are just kind of terrible. Dimetrodon is more reptilian. I can't pronounce anything, to be frank. JW3, the Paleozoic species I want the most is Edaphosaurus, basically a herbivorous Dimetrodon. And the Cenozoic species I want the most is Gastornis. Oh, hello, Luna. Sorry, I didn't spot you come in. My apologies. I'm Swedish and I still can't pronounce the letter R. Pretty sure I said offspring. I think I accidentally created like a little rhyme in my Walking with Dinosaurs review video that I still need to finish at some point next week. I was listening to it back and it's like, oh my god, I've created a little poem. Yeah, we need to do some work up here. I think thinking about like what species I would like to see. Edaphosaurus, you know, is an obvious one. Inostransevia, Scootosaurus. Moschops would be quite fun to see. Euparcaria is one of my favorites. Given its possible tenuous links to dinosaur evolution. How am I doing? I'm doing well, apart from, like, I'm really knackered, so... all this Jurassic World Evolution 3 news has, like, not only totally ruined my editing plans for the week, but it's meant also having to do, like, loads of content, which I wasn't expecting. It's kind of why I looked at all that new trailer stuff and that in a stream, because it's so much easier to do it in a stream. Because I can just put the video up, you guys can see it, and I can just talk. I don't have to script, I don't have to edit. I can just do it as a stream, and it's so easy. Making a video takes days, and it's just annoying. So, you know, expect that to be the likely sort of stuff that I do for new news and information. If it comes out close to a stream, I will probably just stream chat and reaction to it, just because it's easier for me to do. If it comes out on like a, you know, nowhere near a stream day, then yeah, I'll probably make the effort to make a video, but I was kind of lucky with the Dilophosaurus stuff today, because someone on Reddit pointed out this BBC documentary, which I hadn't heard about. And then I went running off to go and find it, and then even Evo was like, where did this come from? And I was like, ah. So naturally I made sure Evo had a copy of the the BBC documentary too. Because unfortunately, if you're not in England, getting your hands on stuff that the BBC put out is kind of tricky. As Evo discovered trying to watch Walking Dinosaurs. And honestly, it was surprising. I was actually really surprised that the BBC went to Frontier. But I suppose, considering it's like our only successful video game company, I suppose that isn't much of a surprise. Your service is very valued. I am loved and appreciated. Hashtag blessed. Ugh, I feel a bit sick for saying that. Right. Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line. Yes. Oh, big arthropods. So, Gonzalita. At some point. So, I was doing a vid. I remember long ago starting like a video series on like my favorite prehistoric animals, and then other stuff happened and I never got around to being able to finish it. This happens to me a lot. Like, I will start a video series and then something will happen that completely delays me being able to finish that series. Like, I have obviously my Beyond the Park videos, which are like... No, not Beyond the Park. My 10 things you might not know about videos, which are like... It was a way for me to get some real paleontology, like, science onto the channel, where, like, we pick a dinosaur from Jurassic World Evolution, and I, like, tell you guys 10 things you might not know about its real-life paleontology. And I did, like, 5 videos, and then I got delayed doing any more because so much other stuff came out. And I haven't been able to do a new one for a while now. I might see if I might try and do one about Guanlong or Protoceratops, actually. Yeah, Evo was thinking the same thing I was already slowly just starting to think. Maybe it's a good idea to do one for Protoceratops and Guanlong right now, this week at some point. YouTuber brain rot. Oh no. Right, I want to put down some of these. I quite like using these as like bushes. They work quite well as like bushes. And then if you just like put a couple of other trees around them, just to like blend them in a bit. Like, one thing I would say about the modular building in Jurassic World is that people are going to have to learn how to modular build effectively. And one of the big things about modular building is to build efficiently, because obviously with a modular building system, the more pieces you use, the slower the game becomes. So the key point to modular building is to build efficiently. So in other words, don't use 6 pieces if you can find 1 piece that does the job just as well. That's kind of what takes all the time in modular building. It's not necessarily the building, it's the how can I build this efficiently. I think that's going to be very difficult for a lot of us current Jurassic World Evolution 2 builders. Like, I think it'll be a struggle for a lot of us to learn that sort of efficient building style. Because we are very used to, like, just putting down 6 rocks instead of potentially changing the shape and position of one rock to do what we want. You have a whole Tyrannosauridae phylogenetic on my wall. That's a pretty cool thing to have on your wall. The Triclaw house doesn't have anything like that, if I'm honest. I do have, like... So I brought the Jurassic Park, the game, on disc many years ago. So on one of the walls here, we have, like, it came with, like, the prop map. Like, the map of Isla Nublar. So that's on a frame on a wall. And, like, I have the Skyrim map on a wall. My picture of the Enterprise painting, concept painting on the wall. But I think my prized possession is probably the Titanic painting I have, which is on the wall down in my hallway. But as I was saying, I've gotten distracted again. I was saying about my favourite prehistoric animals, wasn't I? Arthroplura is like one of my favourite animals of all time. I adore Arthroplura. I would love a real Arthroplura. Like, people ask Evo, if you had a dinosaur, what could you have? I'd be like, I don't want a dinosaur. I want an Arthroplura. I would never, ever have to mow my lawn or garden again. I could just leave my Arthroplura to eat the plants of my garden. And it's not like a creepy crawly. An Arthroplura is just like a massive millipede. And it's kind of adorable. I'm with Bob in Prehistoric Park when he was like, he's quite fond of the Arthroplura. I'm like, you go, Bob. I'm with you. The Arthroplura is adorable. I mean, I would even go one step further and say I would happily have Arthroplura over Tyrannus or any of the hybrids or there's actually so many animals from the base game JWE2 that I would rather have Arthroplura instead of. I think this looks pretty decent. Needs obviously some like bushy vegetation to go in, but I think I always, whenever I do an enclosure, I start with like the placeable trees and rocks and stuff first, and then I do like the other vegetation types. Down here, this edge needs some rocks. They would need a special enclosure for Arthroplura. Well, you say that, but I think if they were going to add giant bugs, the glass aviaries would work quite well. Or, and this is really what I think they should have done in the first place, bring back the greenhouse building from Jurassic World Evolution 1. But make it into a bug house. Make the dome on the top see-through so we can look in it. And make it like the aviary used to be in Jurassic World Evolution 1. So it just does everything in like the greenhouse building. And like have a preset viewing area so we can view what we put inside the greenhouse and have like Arthroplura, Meganeura, Pulmonoscorpio, Mesothelae spiders, whatever. Because that would be a really easy way of doing it. Because I really miss the greenhouse building from the first game. There again, now we have modular building. How long is it going to be before one of these absolutely amazing builders from the Planet Zoo community like delay designer, comes along and is like, here's all the missing Jurassic World Evolution 1 buildings in Jurassic World Evolution 3. Like, how long will it be? Honestly, though, like, the standard of park is gonna go absolutely through the roof now. Like, I consider myself a fairly good Jurassic World Evolution 2 and 1 builder. Jurassic World Evolution 3 is gonna completely annihilate that. I'm going to be just another one of those new builders until like I get to grips with the modular building. I know that Evo's really worried about it, or at least is a bit concerned about it. But having seen what she's been able to do on Prehistoric Kingdom, I'm like, Evo, don't worry, you'll be fine. Like, the stuff that Evo's been building for Prehistoric Prehistoric Park, for God's sake, there's too many things that start with the same letters. The stuff that Evo's made in Prehistoric Kingdom is so good. So I think Evo will be fine, I think. We're gonna have even better parks. But yeah, the standard of park building is going to go through the roof in general now. Although I can't wait to see the people of Frontier playing the game live on stream. Do people remember the amount of difficulty they had playing Jurassic World Evolution 2? Like, whenever they played Jurassic World Evolution 2 on their live streams, it felt like none of them knew how to play the game. Can you imagine what it's going to be like with JWE 3? It's going to be really funny. They're going to be as useless as we all are, probably. I think this is good. I think we need some, like, playful scenery here. So I'm thinking, let's put a ship in here. Maybe little Jurassic Rebirth style speedboat. This is a bit big, but I really do like this boat. It's like one of my favorite mod decorations that's been added. I really do like it though. It's quite big and chunky and it just looks great surrounded by dinosaurs. I just think it makes for a really nice decorative element. Yeah, the firing, so I feel like that kind of went under the radar. The way that Frontier let its staff go, I think that was really awful of them. Just, if what certain people that were let go said about the process, if that's true, the way they did it was horrific and really horrible. I mean, it's a wider problem in the video game industry as a whole. The way that companies, you know, force through redundancies just to make their profit margins look better, and people are, you know, crunched to work all the hours under the sun in order to get the game out, and then they're fired. You know, it's a terrible problem in the industry. And I think it's definitely worth remembering when we play all these games that we love, that behind that game that we all love is a group of people that have probably been worked half to death, that probably aren't getting very much recompense from it. Because let's be fair, it's not people like, what's his name? Not Rich Newbold, the other one. Andy, is it Andy? People like him aren't the ones that are spending hours and hours on crunch making stuff for the game, is it? It's other people that are doing that. Really? Oh, I think this calls for, yeah, people, a lot of video game workers do live on the edge. You know, they live paycheck to paycheck, like a lot of people do. And you know, the way some of them are treated by the industry, it's just awful. Like the one that really gets me is the company that made that really popular game last year. Was it Hi-Fi Rush? Like, it was an award-winning game, made tons of money, and Microsoft still shut the company and fired everybody. So, like, you can even make an award-winning game now, and it's not enough. I like that. Very spooky. It was a sad story, Wandering Rambler. Okay, I think we need some rocks in the water. Incidentally, sorry for that random tangent, but that is, you know, kind of what this channel is for. We are not necessarily a dinosaur gaming channel. That's just the games I tend to play. We are a general gaming channel, and you know, I do like to talk about this stuff, the wider problems in the industry, and that sort of thing. You know, I think we need like a sunken ship or something. I'm playing Planet Coaster 2 to prepare for the modular building not going well and taking too long. Practice makes perfect at the end of the day. Should I have like a... Let's like grab one of these. Like, let's have it on its side. Nope. Like, let's just have it like... dying sort of. Yeah. I quite like that. So I kind of like it's half, maybe a bit deeper actually. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe kelp is too big. Maybe we can like, oh, the fish are. Oh, they're still above. Like, one in. Then we can kind of like role play that it's like it went into shallow water and ran aground on the reef. See, coming up with like little stories about your park, it's a good way of helping to guide your building. That's going to be definitely very useful when you're modular building. Like being able to like come up with stories for particular areas or like something going on in the park that you want to model. Because this is now where I have to admit to being a massive nerd. I kind of have a thing for model railways, and that's like one of the tricks for model railways. Is to like create something that's happening which you can model. If we place like Piscivore feeder. Yeah, we can have like some more fish. Yeah. Some motion. That looks really good. I like that. Hang on, stop talking so dirty, Gonzo. What? Oh, right, imagine a Dino or Placodus on these rocks. Incidentally, just a good moment to ask people to remember to like the stream. And all the usual YouTuber stuff, because it does help. I don't like begging people for stuff, but, you know, it does help. I feel like we need some doesn't really go with how like soft the waves are. Logs. That's the word I was looking for. Logs. I'm very much looking forward to having more than one type of log, that's for sure. Nice. Okay, Guillermo. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in. Kind of works for seaweed. I mean, I'm very happy that we got the Protoceratops at last. I've been saying that we should have had the Protoceratops for ages. Like, there's still some dinosaur species that I find really bizarre they haven't included yet. Because I personally don't think you can call yourself a dinosaur game if you don't have Protoceratops. It's like one of the most important like dinosaurs in the paleontology records. And if you have Velociraptor, you kind of have to, in my opinion, have Protoceratops, given how connected those two animals are. I can't believe it's taking them until this game to finally have it. And to have it as a deluxe edition dinosaur as well, that's kind of not the way I would have done it. Let's put it like that. I think Protoceratops should be a base game dinosaur. Yeah, Plateosaurus is another one that I think you should have as like the biggest Triassic period dinosaur. I would argue you have to have Coelophysis, but they gave us Coelophysis. I mean, I am kind of a little bit surprised we don't have Argentinosaurus yet, given, you know, holds the record for being one of the largest dinosaurs. I do find it very bizarre we don't have it. Saltosaurus as well, you know, a genuine armored sauropod. I remember back in the day when the hybrid pack was first announced for Jurassic World Evolution 1, I went nuts about the Ankylodocus, because I'm like, you've given us a shitty Ankylodocus hybrid when we could have just had Saltosaurus, an actually genuine armored sauropod. I was very salty about Saltosaurus being ignored. And as I know Evo adores the Spinoraptor. I could think of a number of animals I would rather have instead of Spinoraptor. Although I suppose if they did bring it to Jurassic World Evolution 3 and it was swimming, that might change my opinion slightly. But not by much. Right, I'm going to add some ginkgo around, because I know that stuff will definitely eat from ginkgo. Ginkgo works very nicely as a sort of additional tree species. We do have ginkgos in the UK, by the way. It's one of those tree varieties I do know we have. Oh, maybe that's deforest. Oh look, I've just noticed something. Is that the... You know, I pointed out that flag in that screenshot that was new. That looks like it's that one. It's the same color, and I think it has the same pattern. I think it's this one that we had in the viewing towers. Let's stick some more foliage in here. Don't want to go too heavy on the foliage. I want there to be quite a lot of space. The beach I feel like we need to leave clear of vegetation, but at the same time we want animals to come down here, so let's put some patches of vegetation around. Lovely. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 5, how hyped are you for Jurassic World Evolution 3? I'm going to say I'm going to go 5, like in the middle. And that's not like video game ranking logic where 10 is good and anything less than 10 is bad. Like, 5 is in the middle. Like, in the middle for me. I'm cautiously optimistic. I have some concerns about some things. But some of the stuff they've shown off already, I am optimistic about. But we really do need to see some good, like, gameplay stuff. Now, the first of their streams will be important for me. Like, I want to see good quality live gameplay stuff where they know what the fuck they're doing and they are very clearly showing us some really important stuff. Like, I don't want to see, like, half-assed park building where they struggle to figure out how to make the paths work. I want to see lagoons, I want to see aviaries, I want to see modular building in action. I want to see good quality live gameplay, which was something that was sorely missing from Jurassic World Evolution 2. Like I said earlier, it felt like they didn't know what game they were playing with Jurassic World Evolution 2. And it will be the stuff they reveal on the live shows which determines whether I buy it or not. Because I'm not predisposed to immediately buy it, you know. It's a bit more different for people like Evo, who are dinosaur YouTubers. Evo kind of has to buy it. But I don't. Because, you know, my gaming channel, Dinosaur Gaming, is a small part of that, and it's also not my job. You know, for a lot of the other content creators, Jurassic World Evolution is a job. So again, they kind of have to buy it. But I'm one of the general consumers, more or less. So whether I buy it or not is entirely determined on whether they earn my income, earn my money. And, you know, I said at the end of my Jurassic World Evolution 2 retrospective review that Jurassic World Evolution 2 made me no longer trust Frontier. I don't trust them anymore. they can regain that trust if they know what they're doing and, you know, demonstrate they care about the product they're putting out. But when it came to Jurassic World Evolution 2, they just made too many errors, too many mistakes, and you know, I brought Jurassic World Evolution 2 day one. True, King Giga, but that's only because obviously Fallout only does videos on a Wednesday. Dane struggles to do videos and streams because he is basically one of only 2 people at his work, so he's always having to be called into work. We are trying to get his work to stop being like that. But even then, even if it's just me, I do play other games as well, King Giga. You know, I love SnowRunner. Playing Baldur's Gate. So, I just happen to like making dinosaur content. Right, Invisible Wall. But like, yeah, as I said, they are going to have to earn me buying the game. So they're gonna have to do these Sinosauropteryx. Why are you not going to the water? These guys have been nothing but bloody trouble, honestly. Go to... Oh, because you were determined to do a social animation. Now will you go to the water? No, now you'll have a social animation with yourself. Jesus Christ. Anyway. I think that species packs should have more species. Theme packs and expansions should have 3 or 4. Yeah, how they're going to treat DLC now will be interesting. I want to see more than just dinosaur packs. You know, expansion packs, definitely. Scenery, and I want to see like what Planet Zoo has. Like, let's have some scenery packs. Scenery packs, theme packs, ride packs. I want to see much more imagination with the DLCs. Because dinosaur packs were fine for these 2 games. But I think now... I think it's about time we saw some more imagination. Okay, so this is like where our enclosure will be for this bit. I kind of want to make sure I know where the edge of it is, so it's like here. So what I'm going to do is just like... That's all, it almost perfectly. I'm just going to place down like some really noticeable trees here. Because this will tell me this is the edge of that particular enclosure. But it still looks like semi-natural, you know. Okay, so for this particular area, I wanted to have pterosaurs here. So I want to try and make sure they have stuff to sit on. Try to keep them around here. So I'm going to put down a couple of these guys. I might put one of these down like... one of these like here. One of these like here. Oh, that one is up in the air. How has that happened? And maybe put like a couple here. And maybe just have like a really tall one up here somewhere. Let me guess. Sinosauropteryx again? Yes. It's always the water they're struggling with. And they've got tons of this stuff. Let's just try and give them a little bit more. There we go. You've got more water now. Please, go and drink. If they bring dinosaur packs back, I want there to be like 8 or so species centered around a region. Yeah, like if you're gonna have dinosaur packs come back, why not focus them around particular parts of the world? Especially considering, you know, your game is going to be taking us around the world. I would be really, really surprised if they gave us Japan, but not any Japanese animals. That would seem like a really big missed opportunity. We're going to have a fish feeder up there. We're going to have a fish feeder down here. And we're going to have like a couple here as well. Just so we can have pterosaurs. I mean, they're going to be so deep below water, the pterosaurs are going to look like they're going to be like underwater. Right. Let's go find some pterosaurs. Pterosaurs. Oh my lord, Kairu. How do I pronounce that? That's true, Melissa. Yes, Luna. Yes, it did. Brigmophysetter? Brigmophysetter? I've never heard of that, Kairu. Right, flying. Let's have a look. I want to pick something I don't often use. Maridactylus, maybe. Quets, I don't want to use. Tropiognathus, maybe. Let's use Maridactylus. I feel like I don't use this guy very often, and I feel like he's not that bad of an animal, really. I say that, but then I look at his skins and they're absolutely awful. That would work as male and female, but I don't really like the green. I've decided we're not going to use Maridactylus because he has terrible skins. We're going to use Tropiognathus instead. I think if we're going to have Tropiognathus... Ooh, I really like this blue. Yeah, Archaeopteryx is another one of those animals that I think we have to have at some point. I feel like you can't really call yourself a dinosaur game if you ignore Archaeopteryx. Kind of like that. The yellow works quite nicely. Okay. I'm just going to put this in chat so that I can see what we've decided on. Gambia and Pap for the male. And for the female, we could just make it like grey. Instead of like that blue, just make it grey. And maybe just get rid of the coloration. Actually, let's keep the coloration. Let's make it like a case of mutual sexual selection. So females will be Yukon River and Pap. Okay. I'm still a bit salty that Marodactylus stole a spot from Rhamphorhynchus in the base game. Yes, I suspect in terms of pterosaurs, we might see quite a few of them cut. Obviously, we know Pteranodon and Geosternbergia and Quetz is coming. I suspect Cerodactylus, Marodactylus, and maybe even Trop won't. I reckon those three could be cut. I think Yehalopterus is probably definitely cut. Dimorphodon is probably a safe assumption due to the films. And there's Thanatos-Stragon. I reckon it'll be Dimorphodon, Pteranodon, Thanatos-Stragon, Geosternbergia, Quetz. There'll be our 5 aviary species. Oh look, there's another one that still hasn't bloody gone and drunk anything yet. I like the Dryosaurus in JPOG. Right. This is where we see how much they're going to be willing to stay in one place. Tropiognathus, Gambia, and Pap. Two male, and Barbaridactylus is possible because of the sexual dimorphism. Yeah, see, I think Barbaridactylus might be one that goes, because that was a DLC animal, wasn't it? What I would hope with the way they're going to do the cut content is, I hope that the animals that they cut are going to be not necessarily just all DLC ones. I would like some of the DLC animals to stay in the game. I would hope that the animals that are going to get cut are the ones that make not much sense to have. Like, get rid of Chunking, Gigant Spino, get rid of Crichtonsaurus, get rid of Sintao, get rid of Edmonto, potentially get rid of Monolopho or Procerato. Monolopho is great though. I love the Monolopho. Yeah, I suppose that's true, Kairo. All the dinosaurs that lived in Japan are Camusaurus, Fukisaurus, Fukiraptor, Fukititan. Yeah, so there are some that they could definitely include. I would expect at least one. If the Jurassic franchise is anything to go by, probably a raptor. Because the Jurassic franchise has a hard-on for the raptors, apparently. Pull up! Pilot, pull up! There we go. I think this demonstrates that the aircraft have a set flight height. Let's just save any more choppers from a terrible fate, shall we? There we go. The helicopter became a submarine. There's also the biting sperm whale of mammals. You mean Leviathan? It'd be so nice to see these guys walk. Well, one thing I would say about stuff like the Meg is we have only seen it as a statue. Now, yes, if it's a statue, it's probably highly likely it is in the game. But it's not, you know, a statue is not a confirmation it's in the game. So that's all I will say about the Meg. It's a statue. Chances are, given the Meg's popularity, it will be in the game. But it's, you know, until we literally see it, or it's announced, it's just a statue at the moment. I hope that the pterosaur animation is better in the base game, in the next game. Like, I hate the fact they flap everywhere. Like, could we have some, like, less flapping, more gliding, please? This one is determined to land on this rock. You give them these... They're like cats. You give them these pterosaur stands and they don't use them. Are you coming to eat? Are you coming to eat? Yes. How underneath the water are you? Oh, you're fully under the water. It looks a bit bizarre, but I suppose... It looks bizarre, but it'll do. Has there been any indication that JWE3 will have a true first-person mode? Oh, I know what they mean. So there's this desire from some members of the community to have, like, yeah, a first-person shoot-'em-up experience sort of thing going on. I personally don't think we need that. It's not what this game is, you know, it's a park builder. I feel like I have to say that so often these days. It is a park building game. If you want a survival horror experience, wait for Jurassic Park Survivor to come out, or Survival to come out. So we'll keep an eye on these guys and see if they stay reasonably around, you know, food and stuff. Now I'm thinking we do want a sauropod in here because I think a sauropod would look cool here. Although again, I want to provide them with like some proper food places to have them, you know, come to places where I want them to. Like down here, for example. And maybe over here. And maybe over here. And maybe also way up here. So, let's go find a sauropod. A park builder is when you build a park, people, not a brand new game crashing machine. Yeah, I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper, but I feel that the people who don't like park building games shouldn't play this game. Like, it really bugs me how a lot of the player base for Jurassic World 1 and 2 seem to just want to put dinosaurs in a battle arena and have them fight to the death, and that's all they want to do with it. If there's one good thing about modular building, it might... What's the right way of saying it? It might result in Jurassic World Evolution 3 having a more mature audience, as it were. Ooh, we could do the fluffy boy. We could have the fluffy boy. I love the fluffy boy. He's so cute. This is one of the best modded species I've seen. It's so cute. Let's have... It's not got much in the way of variation, but I do like this boy. So let's have him with like the white and grey. So this is Killian Mountains and Lithobates. Male. And then let's just have... That's like a almost perfect darker variant, but I want to have a variant with less of a pattern to it. Let's go for that one. We'll keep the lithobates, but we'll lose the color. So Limpopo River, and Litho. And that's the Antarctosaurus. I know feathered dinosaurs are real, but I think we've gone too far by giving too many dinosaur species. I agree with you, Branson. However, in as much of this game, for, you know, variation, it would be nice to have a feathered sauropod. Feathered ceratopsian. Like, at least one. Yes, Andre, I agree with you. I want to actually see the modular system in action. and see how it all works. For now, I'm reserving judgment. Where is the dinosaur production facility? It is here, Antarctosaurus. So, the male was going to be Killian Mountains and Lithobates. Oh. 1. And then the female will be Limpopo River and Lithobates. It comes as 1. Ah. Let's have an another female. Let's whack it into fast forward. It's literally as complex as Planet Zoo. Really? Because someone earlier was saying it was like pieces snapped together rather than you having to place them awkwardly with like the positioning thing. It is pretty ballsy on Frontier's part. They must be pretty confident in the they must be pretty confident in the workshop. Where are you going? Where are you going? There is nothing over here. Good sir. Return to your... Where is he going? This one's determined to be like, I want to see what's over here. No. You will return to your designated area. Yes, yes, Dino Man. It is definitely the reason why the processor requirement has gone up. He's so fluffy! Yeah, this guy is like literally that kid out of Despicable Me 3. I just want to grab it by the neck and just like, it's so fluffy! It's a very confident move or poorly thought out move. Well, to quote Pirates of the Caribbean, surprising... What did he say? This is either genius or madness. Those two... Was it those two go together more often than you think or something along those lines? Yeah. I think Frontier are hoping that they've included enough pre-builds and that the Frontier workshop is going to be even enough for people who are not architectural masterworkers. I'm not necessarily convinced, though. There's just so many problems of utilizing other people in a workshop to fuel your game. It's just like... You know, what happens if people make those workshop items with DLC content? What happens if people make those workshop items with stuff that people can't use, you know? I don't understand why they just didn't make the amenity customization system bigger. I feel like the amenity customization system was a perfect way of adding some of the modularity or some of the sort of variation of modularity without having the modular system. I don't know why you just wouldn't make that more of a thing. Go have some noms, Antarctopelter. Shall we name our Antarctosaurus? Antarctopelter is something different, isn't it? What shall we call our male Antarctosaurus? Pingus. Did you mean Pingu? Littlefoot. I don't know, I feel like he's a fluffy Antarctic sauropod, so I think like a Floof. I think Floof is Floof. We will call him Floof. What about our first female? Name the female Pingus. Right, Pingus. And our other female? Shimu. I think he got there first with Shimu. Shimo, Pingus, and Floof. I hope these guys are actually going to, like, move. I hope they're not just going to stay up here. I hope they move around. We'll have to see. Obviously, a lot more dinosaurs need to go in here. Like, I'm thinking we need some ceratopsians in here. Maybe some stegosaurian of some description or something. Maybe a hadrosaur or a titan or something. They're cute though. I like them. Flew for the win. Right, everyone. Well, I'm going to end it here for today because I have D&D in like 6 minutes, so I'm going to need some time to go and get stuff ready for that. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for this very long stream and joining me going over all the new news and stuff we had today. There is a video ready to go for next week on Wednesday about the best dinosaur scene in each film, so do give that a watch. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel for all my opinions on stuff. And that's a bit steep for him. And yeah, I will see you guys probably on Wednesday for Fallout stream. Actually, I think Wednesday might be Baldur's Gate again. Actually, we'll see. And yeah, should be fun. That's a bit better. Right, excellent. Well, good night, everyone. And enjoy the rest of your nights. Bye-bye.